since we made the decision in 2015 to buy Polestar as the performance brand of Volvo Cars, and it's pretty simple for me, sometimes boring as a businessman, you have to explain why are you doing this? Why do you need the performance brand? And it's rather simple. The performance car market is growing massively quicker than the rest of the automotive business, and you can earn better money on performance cars. As simple as that. And what does it mean for us? From road to track, from track to road. This was our motto last year, and we didn't see any reason why we should really update it, because we have the unique opportunity that our street cars, which you see here as a V60 in the rear, and we even used it as the safety car for the whole championship in WTCC last year, and then our race car as the S60 in front is really almost the same car. You use the bodies which are produced here in Torslanda, and then very proud personally, due to my own heritage a bit, is that the engine concept, the Drive E engine concept, was developed here, and to a large extent we can use a carryover engine into our race cars as well. And we are the only manufacturer in the World Touring Car Championship who is using their own engines. The others have generic race engines, and we thought that our Drive E suits really perfect, so we have homologated our own engine. And then for developing a small company like Polestar, it's important that you kind of define what's your philosophy and what's important, what makes you different from others. And therefore I have taken a little sequence, a short video, which should introduce what I want to tell you.
The communication between the racing engineer and the driver is very, very important, because all the drivers tend to have their own language when describing different behaviors of the car.
In the end of the day, the driver is the only one that actually sits in the car during all the sessions on the track. So he is a very important factor in determining in what direction to go with the car setup-wise.
There's two very, very important messages in there. One is actually I start with, and that is a core value of Volvo Cars as well. It's the human-centric approach. And what does that mean? This racing engineer says it's the most important thing to talk to our driver, because the driver is the interface between the cars and us. And on the other side, the driver says it's very important to talk to my team, because every one of us is a bit different. And that exposes where we say human-centric approach, care about our customer. Here we see that in motorsport it's nothing else. The most important thing is a good relationship between the drivers and the engineers, and that will determine the success. And what I like for Polestar, we kind of try to implement that in how we develop and how we specify our products. A racing engineer, or in total a racing team, they never lay back. They never really celebrate success. They usually celebrate for half an hour after winning a race, and then they prepare the next. Every lap, every corner, every weekend, they will investigate and try to understand every result they can get and try to improve all the time. So that basically means you will never be perfect. With the product you engineer, you will never be perfect, but you try all the time. You never give up. You strengthen your back and you try to improve. And that's the engineering philosophy of Polestar. Sounds great, I believe. From here, I stop talking as a philosopher about the company, and I like to welcome you, Alexander Moczewski, who is my colleague being responsible for motorsport in Polestar. Thank you. Alex.
Thank you,
Here you
Nils.
are.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. It's much more lightning now than the previous session, so now I can see. Very good. Welcome. And as Nils rightfully pointed out, there's a lot of thought and thinking behind the actual engagement in motorsport. But when we talk about the engagement in motorsport per se, I thought I'll give you a little bit of a rundown of what that means for us this year. What are the different activities that we will do? And first, of course, is one activity that sometimes doesn't get the attention it should, especially the last 2 years when we are doing so well on an international basis. But Swedish GT this year in Sweden as a prolongation of the STCC engagement that we have done since '96, basically. that's basically where the heritage of Polestar started. Before we even launched products, this was what we did in a humble setting, team placed up north, the northern part of Sweden, and then brought eventually down to Gothenburg. So all the want and need and the desire behind the brand was actually created by racing in the Swedish National Championship. So that's why it's really important for us that we can evolve on this heritage, which we're really happy we do, in forms of racing in the Swedish GT with Carl Philip. We'll race the S60 as we did in the STCC last year. And we will also have some co-drivers from the WTCC program to basically come and get tested by Carl Philip if they're really quick or not, which I think is really good. Then we have the WTCC program, and as I said, I think most of us know what WTCC is, but yet again, some details. It's a world championship, which means that it's extremely easy to communicate everywhere. If you won an Olympic medal in the Olympics, obviously you don't even have to mention what kind of category you won it in. People realize that this is something to do with an achievement, equally with a world championship. So it's really important that it is a world championship that is the platform as it is. We do 10 races on 4 different continents, so it's a good spread. And as we said again, this program is the commercial program. This is the program on which we're going to leverage the Polestar products, sales of hardware, sales of software. One thing that is extremely interesting with this program also is that it's based on the same technology as we utilize in the engineered cars, for example. It's also based on the same technology that is developed right here in Torslanda. I think Nils mentioned a little bit of the technical regulation side, but in fact is that we are the only ones that are racing a standard engine to the level of that we have the genuine block even on the engine, to a level where you can actually go to a local dealer and buy spare parts for a race engine. That is developed here in Gothenburg, which tells us 2 things. First of all, that's a bloody good engine if you can actually extend it into a race engine without doing the modifications like everybody else has done in the championship, where they basically do a completely new block just because the standard engine won't cope. Our engine does cope, and in fact we were the quickest car on the straights a number of times last year, which gives us an indication that this is a very solid engine, and also the engine that we also use in the Polestar product. So just a side note there, whoever is involved in this project at Volvo Cars Powertrain, good job, really good engine. So looking at the calendar for the season, we don't, like any championship or any series, will have a calendar, but what's important for us when we look at the calendar, we are part of the creation of the calendar, is that you want a good spread. You want your different commercial areas to be attended. Now, Europe is very important for us, and just because of that, we start racing in Africa. But we get to Europe very quickly, Monza. Then we do Hungaroring in Hungary, Germany. That's the 24-hour Nürburgring. If you have the slightest interest in motorsport, you know that this is a massive event, a very good background for doing racing and promotional event like we are trying to do at that time. Then we go to Portugal after that, and then we switch to a different geographic commercial area and a different race track altogether. We are going to Argentina, to area close to the Chilean border, race track called Honda del Estero, which is a fantastic facility, a little bit difficult to get to, but really worth it if you can spare the time to go there. After that, we go to China, and what's important for us there is to have a lot of presence. It's a big country. We want to be near Shanghai, and we thought we really had a good package until we found out that what can top if you race in Shanghai? Well, the only thing that could be better is if you can race in Shanghai on a track that you actually own. And this is what we will actually manage to do this year. So we are racing in Shanghai, Ningbo. It's a completely new facility that is constructed, owned, and operated by the same group that owns Volvo Car Group. So it will be a home away from home experience for everyone in the project, which I really enjoy. Then we go to Japan, classic track, classic event, and then a new event on the calendar, or returning to the calendar, is Macau, which is a fantastic event, fantastic location on the outskirts of Hong Kong, more or less. You could say the Monaco of China, and really good event, good following. After that, Middle Eastern hub, happy to announce we're going to Qatar, which is also the finale event of the year. So it's a very diverse calendar, a good spread, good reach. When we look at ambitions then, okay, well, we have a good calendar, we have a good theory behind the whole project, but at the end of the day, it's all about what you perform, really. And to explain a little bit about the 2017 ambitions, I think we should recap a little bit what we talked about last year. This is the actual presentation from 16, and at that time we said that 2016 will be a learning year for us. We'll be racing a completely new car on completely new tracks that we haven't raced before. So we just go out there and gather data. That's the main mission for us. We don't care too much about racing results. We don't care too much about how quick we are or this and that. Obviously, we had also one thing on top that was very important for us, and that was also that we finalize our technical R&D setup. Now, continuity and having a good technological setup is key, whatever you do. So we wanted to make sure that we have speedy processes, that we had an extremely good network with Volvo Cars Group R&D, but also, more important, that we have complete race car developed under one roof. So you don't have 1 million sub-suppliers. You depend on, geographic locations, logistic, culture, and so on. So we have everything under one roof. And that came through during last year. This is the black box, or whatever you want to call it. It's based just across from Kappel, Åby, and Steinbrenner in Mölndal, the new Silverstone of the world. This is basically our team headquarters today, housing everything you need to make a great Volvo into the best racing car it can be. We're very happy that this is in place now. When we look at the season itself, 16, okay, we said, let's go data gathering, not too much heroes in every corner and so on. But we did actually perform quite well. We did not expect to be in the top 5. We were hoping to tease the top 5 trio by the end of the year, but we actually made podiums. We actually started winning, which meant that for 17 was an interesting thought. We had timed our project for a 5-year build-up, where the last 3 years, within those 5 would be the scoring years. However, with the encouraging results from last season, we said, okay, we go all in now. So whatever resources we have, we deploy them now. The new racing R&D facility was rushed to be built. We increased staff capacity. We're testing probably more than the rest of the starting field are testing together. Employing a new driver simulator, which means that the drivers will be able to drive all the tracks for several hundred laps even before they come to the track. So you get additional, I would say, competitive advantage on that. But above all, we're going to have 3 cars as well. Last year we had 2 cars. So what does that all mean if we summarize all of this? And well, it means, in very modest Swedish terms, it means that we are aiming to win both championships this year. I think I can be as lagom as I possibly can, but the fact is that if we don't do if we do a decent job, there are a lot of things in place already that doesn't really give us an excuse not to perform well this year. And if you're really going for it, go for it. So we hope that bring back the first World Championship title for the company, actually. just to please my old colleagues from Powertrain who built me this cracking engine to go race with. Before we, well, I think I have said enough. So let's bring in the difference between success and a very good excuse, the drivers. Carl Philip Bernadotte, please. Welcome, Carl Philip. Good to have you in Gothenburg again.
Thank you. It's great to be here again. Looking forward to this season.
Yeah, and if we go back and forth a little bit and do some internal pecking order, I think like you're a veteran in the project now. Two different car models and 3 different championships with us. I don't think any of the other drivers can sign up on that. How do you feel about that?
If you say so. No, that's I didn't see myself as a veteran, but in that sense, sure.
I would call youthfully quick, I think was the expression we wanted to use. Young but quick, or young but experienced.
Sounds
something
much
like
better.
that. Something
Don't you
like
agree?
So Swedish GT,
yes.
Obviously, to me, I have my experience of that. But if you haven't seen or done GT, explain to my colleagues what is Swedish GT in comparison to STCC.
All right. So this year I'm going to drive the Swedish GT. That's a series that it's you drive quite more longer time. You drive 2 stints. One is 40 minutes, one in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and we are driving between much more different car makers. So we're going to drive against Porsche. We're going to drive against BMW, Ferrari. Last year we had Lamborghini. They were driving against, and we don't know how this car, the Volvo, is competing against them, since this is the first time. So going to be very interesting. Looking forward to jump into the car and drive and see how well it does against them. And last year I was driving the STCC, and that's much shorter. It's like a sprint. It's 20 to 25 minutes, and all the cars are the same. So it's 2 totally different series.
Okay.
So that's going to be very exciting for me.
We heard previously somebody said use the word it's more like a gentleman's driving, and I think immediately that you hit somebody really hard and then you apologize softly. Is that what it means, or?
I've heard so. Yeah, that's no. I guess it's more competitive in the STCC. It's the sprint, so everybody is really grabbing for the last centimeters and trying to overtake each other. Since it's 40 minutes, I hope, anyways, that they're going to be a little bit more gentle. But it's race, so you never know.
However, ever it is, we stacked up on parts. We have a decent budget.
Sounds good for that.
Have a cracking time. If you break the car, we'll repair it and see you again next race.
Looking forward to that. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Continuing with our driver lineup, man that you probably have met before. Ted Björk, please.
Hello. Hi. Oh.
Ted.
So usually when I go out, it says veteran or something like that. But
now tell me, what is the right expression?
Young and experienced.
Young and experienced. Very good. For you who know Ted, know also that Ted's last name made my last name sound a bit easier last year. So it's actually Ted Björk Bang Melchior. But due to a bitter fight with finance and their reluctance to change the big screen, so we're just going to keep Ted Björk on the screen today. But it's actually Ted Björk Bang Melchior, so if you wonder.
Same as on the race car.
Same as on the race car.
The windscreen in front is not big enough, so.
Yeah, some destructive properties on the aero.
Yes.
So we stick with Ted Björk. But regardless, short name, long career with Volvo, number of years now.
Yes.
And last year must have been a really fantastic year. I think I cried twice in motorsport before. Once when I lost the budget, and once when you won in Shanghai. So I think you cried too. It was a very emotional.
It was a great first year. As you said, it was just like collecting data as first. But then you get really into it, and you want to make the good result. And that's what happened. You know, we really got it together in the end, got good result. And when you decided that we're going to win this year, you're just giving us even more possibilities with the testing and so on. So we've been testing the whole winter. We've been driving a lot more than normal.
In fact, now we have Eurosport here, and it's sent live.
Oh,
but I
sorry.
think people will probably not notice if we say that we have driven about 8 STCC racing seasons equivalent in testing.
Yeah, it's a lot of testing. But I heard I should not say anything.
We shouldn't say that. We shouldn't say that. So the car is okay.
But the car is okay. Yeah. So the car, feeling-wise, it feels really good. But it's a really tough championship. And it should be, because the one who wins it is the world champion. I look forward to it. It's going to be absolutely great. I hope that I am the one among the other drivers that are highest in the top. But if I'm not, I'm going to make sure someone else is in our team. Yeah. So it's a really good feeling, and I know you want to introduce them soon. But and now, before we were talking in Swedish, so he could say it was okay that if I win. But we cannot say that anymore because they are listening. So.
Vi säger ändå på svenska, grattis.
So, no.
Very good.
Good. Nice to be here. Really nice to be here, and we look forward to a fantastic season.
Thanks a lot, Ted. We really hope for the best this year, and really happy you piloting one of the 3 cars this year. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I was just about to say I will switch to English now, but this is an English session. And why I say that is because I don't speak Spanish, which you need if you want to talk with a local native tongue with the next driver. I'm very happy to introduce what I think is Messi. If he was equally good in football as Maradona, it will be Nestor Girolami equivalent in racing. So did you get that? I almost lost myself. Nestor, please. Very happy to have you.
Me too.
Yeah. And just to give you, in Swedish we say "god gubbe," which means like a cool dude. And you become a god gubbe in Gothenburg when you move to Gothenburg. And guess what? Nestor Girolami is a god gubbe because he and his wife are Gothenburg residents now. How do you feel becoming...
Thank you very much for being here. For me, it's a pleasure. To be honest, I was really looking forward to this moment. So this is my first years in WTCC. It's very different between Argentina and Sweden. The weather as well is too cold. But
I'm sorry, I'm confused. Is it warmer here? No?
Really looking forward to start the season.
Yeah.
I hope together with Ted and Nikki give the next step forward in the result list this year with everyone in the team. So I'm very looking forward to start.
Very good. We are looking forward to it as well. As a matter of fact, I think you have also proven some pedigree in a Volvo already.
Yes.
You raced in Japan. Fantastic weekend. Very
Yes.
good job. But also I think you are quite unique even from in your domestic championship where you raced these high-powered front-wheel drive cars. Only back-to-back winner, if I'm not correct.
Yes, Super TC 2000 is a category in Argentina. It's very strong, very competitive category. There is 420 horsepower front wheel. In some aspects, it's very similar with WTCC, but I don't know the track. I don't know the different aspect of WTCC, so I need to learn as much as possible. I need to make a simulator for knows the track. So the last year in Japan was really good race for us. I felt right at home with the team, so this is very important for me. And we need to learn as much as possible very quickly, but I'm very confident with this great team. It's such a professional team. So thank you for all. Thank you for Polestar Cyan Racing giving me this opportunity. I will do my best, and I try to gain the World Championship.
Thank you very much, Nestor. I'll hold you to it. Completing the lineup for 2017, we have one more gentleman, and it's always fun to introduce two countries together that has such a great heritage of having some intra-competition, and I'm thinking football and World Cup. So obviously, if you bring Nestor on stage, you have to bring in a guy from Holland on stage. Please welcome Nicky Katzberg.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the project.
Thank you.
Yeah, lost to sign in, but I say last but not least.
Save the best for last.
Save the best for last, how we want to word it. You did a fantastic season last year. Also a new in that team at that time. Was the quickest driver in that team, and now you're joining us. How do you feel about the transition from a Russian team to a Swedish team to blue car racing against Ted? Well, I know you have met before in Marrakesh last year, for instance.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I made a little mistake and smashed him off. It's the last time I touch him, I hope.
He said I was extremely slow.
Yeah, no, it feels really good.
If you were.
No, it feels good to be with the blue cars now, and Sweden is a lot closer than Moscow, so that's good as well.
Yeah, in fact, we have a lot of presence in Holland as a company. We hope we're going to have some additional followership from that area, of course. But I think we managed still somehow to keep it more or less as an official secret up until this day. So we're going out 2 o'clock this afternoon. What kind of reaction do you expect?
Well, I hope it's a good one, because I think many people thought that I was not going to be back in WTCC, and I was looking for a drive, and then I found a drive here, and I must say I'm super happy, and I hope the people are as happy as I am. Yeah,
we for sure are quite happy to complete the lineup in the way we did, and together with Ted and Nestor said, I mean, it's 2 championships. We hope we're going to win both of them. And now I have to ask you the question: what do make you think that you may be the one that will win the championship compared to your colleagues?
I don't know. That's a difficult one. I'm not sure. I will try my best. Obviously, try to win it. But I think the most important thing is that one of us wins it. So let's not come in too much of an internal competition and hit each other off. I've hit that already more enough. So if one of us wins, I'm happy. Yeah,
I have to say, actually, I agree with you fully, and wish you the best of luck, all of you.
All right.
Really happy to have you here today.
Many thanks for having me.
Thank you. Obviously, there is a season coming up ahead. We do the first official test day in March 15. And then after that, shortly after that, we are already in Marrakesh, first race of the season. So to follow the progress of this fine gentleman and the blue, best-looking car in the business, obviously television is a big part. Eurosport has an extensive broadcast program, a lot of terrestrial channels. We hope to be a regular on the Swedish sports networks based on good racing results. The Eurosport player, obviously, if you want to see every corner over and over again, like everybody I'm sure wants, I recommend that. But also Polestar Digital and Volvo Cars Digital channels for more occasional updates. So we'll try to keep you as posted as possible throughout the year. So I would like to thank you a lot for coming today. and wish to invite you to join the drivers and have a look at the hardware. Thank you very much.
I think maybe we should start. So, welcome out to the car. We will take off the blanket. Usually Alexander does this, but if he's not here, I can do it. And something to look at. So, next, can you... Oh, 1 minute. Oh, 1 minute. Okay. No personal, that's before. I just wait. But after we've done it, you're free to look at it and open the doors and everything. Come, Alexander.
För att ni väntar. Sista gruppen för dagen ska vi presentera last group of the day. Thank you for your patience. And ladies and gentlemen, with the aid of the drivers, wish to introduce the 2017 Volvo S60 Polestar TC1 WTCC car. Yeah, can it be ready?
Let's go.
Go ahead, guys. the field. We are not going to pop the hood for some reason, but beyond that, you're welcome to have a look at the car. Thank you.
This is